Hi, bit late, bit dark. Hope you're all well. I was going to talk a little bit about what I think of the five stages of alcoholism. And about this later, because to me there are five distinct stages of booze, really, and where it can lead you. I bet there's a few more people on. I hope everyone's okay and had a good day. So approaching the end of January, hopefully get a little bit better weather. It's been so wet, isn't it? And people won't get so depressed because it's a big. I would say one of the reasons that people drink more, isn't it? I drink, go to the pub, piss no rain, go into the mates, keep warm. And how you doing, Charlie? Nice to see you. Just talking about the atrocious weather. Hope things pick up a little bit. When I've walked past Weatherspoons, it looks packed. Haven't been in, but it just looks like all the usuals are in there. Hi, Sub. How you doing? Um, nice to see you. See you. Nice. Glasses. No. Was that more than wise? Showing your age, Sam. Nice to see you. To see you. Nice. It's goodbye from him. Who said that? Nice to see you. Nice. Bruce Forsyth, wasn't it? Hi, Silver. How you doing? Okay, I did a video earlier, which doesn't seem to be getting many views, to be honest. I don't know why. The five stages of alcoholism. And I think that's it, Bruce. Yeah, that's right. Bruce Forsyth, right? Yeah. I don't know why I got the two running wrong. Just these glasses. Only wear these glasses for this computer. Um, the five stages of alcoholism are really quite simple, I think. This is what I've worked out anyway. And I'm not a brain of Britain, but just some personal experience. I think we all start out maybe the six. Let's just start with social drinking, really. Prior to that, it's probably a little bit of experimentation. But when we get to legal age, sort of thing, when we go to pubs, I was in pubs when I was 15, but you drink socially. And I drank socially for a long, long time. A few years ago, just having the odd pint with the guys, the band I used to play in. A few old friends from school, that sort of thing, game of pool, go along about half past eight just to kill the time. And you still live with my parents and things, you get bored sick watching fucking news, don't you? And so you'll go see your mates and stuff. Then the odd night out, which is a bit more lively. It's only a small town. Weekends, you have a little bit more. So I was social drinking for a long, long time. And then I got a bit older, late teens and 20. I was a moderate drinker, which is a bit, not too bad, really. Have a little bit more a weekend or an occasion, so to say. And the moderate drinking stayed with me for a while. And then I joined the police. And like any organisation, like join the army, the navy, any forces, or NHS, anything like that, with a group of people who go on courses and meet people and you start from scratch. And I noticed there's a couple of guys, what I thought were cool guys, who drank a bit more. And I dealt one of them one night. I could have about 4, 5, 6 pints maybe. He had about 10 or 12. He's a big lad. He's very fit. He's a bit older than me. I was 21 when I joined the police. So still very young, really. And I then started to sort of have this moderate drinking, and it started to drift a little bit, drift towards heavy drinking as time went on. And I remained in the heavy drinking phase for a long, long time. And I thought it was normal to feel hungover and feel a bit rough. Um, Hi, John. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Someone on chat. Two moderators. Hi, Steve. Hope all is everyone's doing well. I think they all had a good run, really. Chris Wood, my drinking is driven by pure boredom. A lot of people's is, to be honest with you. I took an extra package from work a year ago. I've not found a way to fill my life, and this empty and alcohol helps fill the day. Yeah, it was a bit like me in the end, but I was already a heavy drinker before I retired. But boredom definitely is a big motivator for it, and a big reason that people drink. So you have to find something that's more healthy and something that's better for you. Um, and you've got to really focus. You've got to focus on your health. That's the thing. And you've got to think your health is your wealth, and it is. When you lose your health, you got nothing, have you? And I was on my deathbed, really bad. So basically, You've got the social, moderate, heavy drinking. A lot of people over 30 are in the heavy drinking stages. And there's nothing wrong with that if you can maybe control it. It will take years of your life. Any drink's going to take years of your life. But you're not going to end up alcohol dependent if you can control heavy drinking. What I mean by that is maybe you have a binge during the weekend, and you'll hit it on special occasions. And you'll have a bit more here and there, but you're still a heavy drinker. Lots of people in that category. Now, the next stage, which is the most critical stage, I think, is stage 4. So just to recap, you've got your social, your moderate, your heavy. When you're heavy drinking and it's causing you problems, it's consequential. You're causing you consequences. You're having the odd day off work. You've got problems with your partner, and maybe finance is starting to dig in a little bit because you spend a fortune on booze. And you're getting a bit more obsessed with drink now. You need a drink rather than want one. That's stage 4.5. That's when people maybe ask for help. A lot of people I speak to and do one-to-one mentoring, they're at that stage. They've gone past the heavy drinking stage and heavy drinking with consequences. That's the stage that you need to stop before you get to stage 5, which is where I was, and maybe the Submariner, when we lost the plot, we fell off the edge of the cliff. I once heard alcoholism described as falling off the cliff and you can't get back on again. Okay, that's stage 5. When you're really gone, you drink 24 hours a day then. You self-medicate alcohol, you take medication, you've got lots of symptoms. When you just drink heavy drinking, you get a lot of anxiety and all this sort of thing. These physical symptoms start to creep in. Rick is pissed, having a meltdown on Pickle Rick's channel. Really, I thought he did one the other day about getting sober. I still think he looks too well for an alcoholic, mate. But no, I didn't realise about Pickle Rick's. I'll take a photo of that other channel, Pickle Rick's. Have a look at it. He's on and off the booze, isn't he? To get off it. It's hard, to get off it, isn't it? John Doe, welcome everyone. Hi, John. Don't forget to like the live to spread the channel. Thanks, John. Cheers. So I don't know what stage you were at when you actually realised you had a problem, but certainly when I was heavy drinking, I thought it was just normality. I thought it was, just good to have a few drinks and to get in the mix of it, and, get amongst it. And I think your environment can make a difference. Coming from a small market town in Northumberland to being in the bright lights of London, the West End, and different type of people, more money, more exposure to a more glamorous lifestyle, I suppose. And I used to associate heavy drinking with glamorous lifestyles. You see people in suits and bowler hats and all these years ago, and they all look quite wealthy and all in the booze all the time. And you think, well, if they can do it, I'll do it. And you want to be part of the crowd, and especially in sort of like the forces. You're in a group and you want to fit in, don't you? You want to fit in, and you want to be seen as one of the lads or girls, as it were. That sort of thing. And you need to focus on that. You need to realise that you couldn't solve problems. But I certainly knew long time before I got really ill that I had an issue with it. I liked it too much, so I got obsessed with it. And it becomes your reason for being, doesn't it? And the amount of people I've spoken to about this, and courses along the way and things like that, they all say they lose their purpose, they lose their ambition, lose their confidence, and they become very insular. And some young people, I'm talking about late 20s, earlys, are so isolated in the houses now, or flats where they live, that they just get booze delivered. They can't even get out. I'm talking about young people here, 32, 34, 36, 41. They're quite young folk, and they think their lives are over, but you can recover, But it's fucking hard. Hiya, Simon. I remember thinking that I would stop drinking when it started to affect my work. By the time it did affect me, I was too deep and couldn't cut back. Then yeah, you're right there, Simon. Yeah, you make all these promises, don't you, that you want to stop, but you can't in some ways. It's a difficult one, isn't it? And a lot of people don't realise that you do want to stop, but you can't get the medication and all this sort of thing. It's not like most people, 99% of people will just say, "Well, just stop. Surely you can just stop." You don't realise what's going on in your head. or your symptoms. They don't realise how ill you are because it's very serious illness, isn't it? So you're right there, Sam. Yeah, when it starts to affect your work, and you do feel rough at work, you just get through it. And people say functioning alcoholic, you're functioning, but alcohol's controlling your life still, isn't it? And you plan ahead. So when you've got a meeting or you've got to go somewhere early, you plan ahead so it doesn't interfere with your work. Really, it's very difficult. Everyone's different. It affects us all in different ways, but it's still a similar pattern. If overthinkers would do too much for other people, we're people pleasers, and so it all gets in a mess. John, I went over to see what this bloke was all about when everyone mentioned his last time. I can see what everyone is saying now. It definitely doesn't seem very genuine. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, we're all different, but I know when I was to the point of needing hospitalisation, I was very ill with it, and the people I know are very, very ill. To the point of losing a lot of weight and starting to go yellow and all sorts of problems. I couldn't walk properly. The house was a mess. The flat was a mess. I got a message from a stranger, from an old colleague from the Met the other day, found me on Facebook. He's now in the streets. You know what I mean? So it can take you down so fast, can't it? Take you down so fast. And I think if it hadn't been for my pension, so I look really hard, I'd have ended up in the streets as well. We're only a couple of paychecks away from that, all of us. Nobody I know has got a lot of savings, I don't know any millionaires, personally. Hey, Paul, how are you doing? Chris David Wood. In your opinion, isn't that ambivalence towards continued life caused by alcohol an existing factor? It could be. Could be. It's a complex one, isn't it? Continued life caused by. I know. I mean, it's a depressant drug, isn't it? Alcohol. It does bring you down. You have this high for a very short period of time. John, I think he's got issues, but he likes exaggerating, to be honest. Yeah, tells a good story. So, Mara, we were all big drinkers on the submarines, but I knew I had a problem when my morning drinking was questioned by some of the biggest pissheads on the board. I knew I was crossing the line. Funny you should say that. I remember one lad in particular, used to call him a Cockney geezer. He was typically East End London, PC. And I was a sergeant then. And he said, "Sarge, you stink of drinking." He was a massive drinker. And I was quite shocked when he said that, It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, so must have had a hell of a lot the night before. It was on earlies. People can tell we're drinking, but it's strange as you just said that, Samara. Even the heavy drinkers can tell the ones that have gone further. That is stage 4.5 or four, 5, where you're really hitting it. And it has massive consequences on you, doesn't it? You don't look right. You don't feel right. You don't do anything right. You strive for mediocrity, don't you? And in the end, it'll just take you down. But I've been speaking to a lot of people who are having massive issues with alcohol, much younger than maybe we did. I mean, I'm 63, somewhere in a similar age. People in their 30s are coming to me and saying, "Wow, I'm drinking this," and they're drinking masses of stuff. 3, 4 bottles of wine a day, 2 liters of vodka a day, when they're quite young. Now, in my day, I didn't know anybody who drank to that level. Not at that age. Older people, but not at that age. So what's going on in the newspapers with saying younger people aren't drinking as much? I've got no idea what that's all about. Because I know for a fact, when I did a little bit of work with the NHS, they said there's more people younger getting the mess with it. So it help them. It's even better, isn't it? Rusty, depressant is a medical term for alcohol because it depresses your central nervous system. Yeah, definitely depressant drug, isn't it? Thanks, Rusty, for that. Michael, a student, and all in the house of chat this day. Thanks, Michael. Hope you're well. But yeah, it doesn't depress you by itself. No, of course not. No, yeah, I understand what you mean. It's a horrible substance when you look back now. What we think was the joy and the happiness from it wasn't much. And I said before, the only thing I can't do now is drink. But when I drank, I couldn't do anything. There's a lot of pain for not much, isn't it? The squeeze is harder than the juice that comes out. So I think there's some wording like that. It's a very long process of recovery from a short hit with a few drinks. Obviously, that gets much worse as you get older. And we discussed before, this thing about relapse and how when you've relapsed, it can come back again to haunt you very quickly. And even after 8 years of no drinking whatsoever, getting so very, very fit, when I started drinking again, even in small amounts, I was in a total mess. I never thought that would happen. I've been such a mess so quickly after reverting back to the booze. You think you're going to be semi okay, don't you? Of 8 years off, I should be pretty much on my way. It's not. You're right, Rusty. Kindling effect. Yeah, it gets worse, doesn't it? It's really bad. It was bad for me. I used to get a lot. I used to get terrible hangovers anyway. People I work with who drank the same amount, and some more, drank more than I didn't seem to have the hangovers. I was like terrible in the morning. They used to come in looking quite fresh. Then I would have to hide away a little bit. Yeah, that's horrible. That kindling, isn't it? I hope you benefit from these lives. If you do, please hit the super chat button or the buy me a coffee links on the right there. If anybody wants to support, please do. It all helps the channel grow and keep doing these lives and keep plodding on. Hi, Martin. It actually does depress you if you're drinking, like an alcoholic. Of course, it does, yeah. Booze floods the brain with dopamine, then your brain adapts, and you end up with dopamine deficiency. It's literally depressing you. Yeah. Thanks, Martin. That's a bit more of a scientific take on it. That's good. It's just true. You get this hit a little bit, but when you get to the point where you pass the point of no return, as I was, the drinking isn't. It doesn't make you feel good. It just gets you and maybe a level keel where you can maybe have a wash, clean your teeth. Just to feel alive again. It's just such a struggle when you get to that point. It's just a cycle of wake up, panic, drink. That's all it is. You worry so much about stuff. Thanks, Rusty, for that message. Much love to you too. You're waking up the next day or in the afternoon or the middle of the night. You haven't slept properly. The sheets are soaking wet. You haven't changed the bedclothes. You haven't brushed your hair. You haven't been washed, shaved, showered, bathed, whatever. You haven't had anything to eat. You get to the point where you can't keep anything down. You can't have a drink of water. And you need a drink before you can do anything. And often I was having a drink in the morning, mainly lagers and sometimes cider now and again, but mainly lagers and Guinness. And I would be sick straight away. And I'd cough up a load of bile. It'd take me hours to just kind of sort of pull together. And then, maybe get a taxi down to the pub if I could. And I was getting so weak. It happened very quickly, really. Brushed your hair. Well, you know what I mean. Women have to brush their hair, don't they? Talking old school here. Michael, yes, good here. Yeah, but ain't that funny? Heard it all my life. And didn't know that officially it is depressant yet. Oftentimes stimulated hell out of me. Yeah, but only stimulates you for a short while, doesn't it? I know you're just joking, Rusty. I know that. I know that. So it gets you down this horrendous path of being depressed, and you can't open letters, you can't open the door to anybody, you can't go out, and you just feel like it's not even an existence, is it? It's a sad existence, really, isn't it? At best, it's something that you're not enjoying your life here when you're doing all the time. Well, thanks, Bob, for that coffee. Great support. Thanks again, Bob. Cheers. If there's a lot of people watching, but if you don't feel like commenting, then please just keep watching. There's no problem. Because you learn something here. Every night I learn something about somebody, or we've all had different experience, and the amount of people that's on here, the years between us who've been drinking, there's always a new taking a bit of a tip or something like that, and I've learned so much from doing this, and hope you have as well. It's somewhere to check in as well. There's not, a few new people have come on recently, and they've said, at least you can find people similar to us, because you think you're the only one, don't you? The only person. And then other people go, well, some people go to AA for the connection type thing. I'm not sure how that works, but I went twice about 20 years ago, and it wasn't from you with the religious side, but I know it helps some people. Certainly does help some people, a lot of people, in fact, to to stay off the booze. But I think it's more of a connection thing. Like I say, you meet somebody else, somebody will take you there. And I never understood this 12-step things and all that. I think it's more, you've got to stop for your own health. If you don't stop, you're going to die, basically. But I did some bit of research recently. If you're alcohol dependent, you can maybe shave off 20 to 30 years of your life. So it's a hell of a lot less time. Most alcoholics die between 50 and 60. Some down the 40, some down the 20. So you've got a lot of life to live. You could have a lot more time on the earth, and you can also, when you get sober, add a bit of life to those years and keep fit. Or keep healthy anyway. You can't keep super fit when you get older, but you know what I'm saying. You can keep reasonably fit. You can eat decent food. You can get some rest. You don't have to worry so much. You haven't got this constant cycle, like I say, of waking up, panicking, and then drinking again. That's all it is. Wake up, panic, drink. Wake up, panic, drink. So one of the early stages of sobriety, I would recommend AA. It's the first time you meet like-minded people with the same illness. You're not your. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, that's what people go for, the connection. Whether or not it'll work for you, I don't know. But I certainly thought I was the only person. I only went twice. No, it wasn't for me. But you think you're the only person in this mess, and especially what you're doing here as well on the channel. People will message me in comments and say, "Oh, I was drinking this, I was drinking that." It's really bad. John never tried it. No, what like I say, it was no good for me. But I know some people do. Like, we all know what we've got to do. That's one thing we've got to do, and that's not drink the first drink. That's as simple as that. You don't need God involved if there is a God. You don't need 12 steps. You don't need books and all that. Buying books that people have written. You don't need to do that. You just have to make sure that you don't start drinking again. You're lucky if you can stop. Once you've stopped, the next part is to not pick up a drink again. And if you can do that, you've won the watch, haven't you, really? Because that's the golden ticket to not drink again. And everything will improve. And all the things that you thought you needed to drink for will be better sober. You keep away from odd folk, you keep away from dangerous places, you'll not have accidents, you'll not have as many domestic issues, you'll not have so many financial issues, you won't have so many stress issues. You'll look better, you feel better, you can communicate better, you'll attract positive people, positive energy, decent people, not just a load of soaks who want to mump beer off you. Because you do feel vulnerable. You put yourself in a vulnerable position when you heavily drink. When you're drinking heavily. I'm not about people who go for the odd night out. I'm not about people who drink all the time. The friends I watched your video on the 5 stages half hour ago. Interesting topic. I say like a green light between stages. You allow yourself to be okay with drinking a bit. The bit is okay, so a bit more is okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because we move up, don't we? Move up and up and up. And get worse and worse and worse. Hiya, Stephanie. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, we did the 5 stages of alcoholism. I'll just go through it again for anybody who's just joined. The 5 stages, to me anyway, are social drinking, then moderate, then heavy. Then heavy when you've got consequences. That's the time to put the brakes on. When it's affecting your work, your finance, your relationships. And then stage 5 is going to be when you've lost the plot with it. Your whole world collapses in. So it's if you can get back to heavy, you've done all right. But most people, when they get to heavy drinking, when it's causing them issues, have gone too far, and that's when you've got to stop and put the brakes on it. The first, then a bit more, and so on. Next thing you know, you're allowing yourself to drink way too much. It's out of control. Yeah, it's very easy to get out of control. When you move from heavy drinking upwards to the next level, it's first out of control, then very dangerous. Chris, alcohol is an amazing equaliser. I spent the last 30 years in very senior jobs advising ministers on national policy. And once the booze kicks in, you just feel like a worthless fraud. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it brings people down, doesn't it? Equaliser is the best way to describe it, isn't it? Yeah, some interesting people on there, isn't it? There's lots of complications with it and all that. We're now discovering there's different cancers that are caused, or at least there's alcohol problems, linked to different alcohol problems cause more cancers. Someone left my left ear after a while. I think I've progressed as much as I could with the program. It became monotonous, and I needed to search for sobriety my own. Yeah, like I said, it didn't do much for me, but certainly it works for some people. Maybe it's just been there for so long. It's the only place you can go to. your main thing is to stop drinking, isn't it? So, but in the early days, I look back, I was really ill. I wanted somebody to talk to. It was hard. I ran the Samaritans also because you do feel isolated, don't you? If my being clean this time round is based on that idea of not allowing myself to be okay with having even one drink. Yeah, you can't have one drink. Simple as that. Um, I'm not forbidding myself the drink. I'm forbidding myself to be okay with it. Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. You're not okay with it. Chris, can you go advise Starmer to fuck off from resign? Yeah. What a message this well, the whole government's in a mess and it won't go from one part to the other. It just shows you that everyone's just feathering their own nest, isn't it, really? Trying to get it's one up and shit all the time, isn't it? Rusty, how you doing again? I think the move from beer to strong cider to vodka is when you know you're full. I never went on to anything else. I didn't drink spirits. But I drank a lot of liquid, a lot of lager, a lot of Guinness, things like that. It doesn't matter what it is. You live it to know whether you're drinking paint strip or vodka or shandy. Hello, Stephen, everybody. Hope you're all right. How you drinking now, say? Yeah, you can drink different things, but yeah, Rusty, it doesn't make any difference what you drink. I was drinking quite strong lager. I thought it was strong at the time, Stella's. But I started off when I was younger, drinking very weak beers. And this is the reason that younger people are getting pancreatitis and liver disease younger, because they're drinking much stronger drinks at a younger age. And that's really causing a lot of issues. That's really bad. You've just got to think every day, I want to be healthy again. A lot of people haven't been in the hospital that's on here. When you get to hospital and they tell you your chance of living are 50-50 or less, then you really dig deep. Think, wow, what am I doing here? And you'll pray to get sober so you can stay sober. Because it's hard to get sober without medication. In fact, it's virtually impossible. It's hard to taper off. The doctors will say taper off. It's very difficult. That we've seen most alcoholics progress to vodka just for cost. For fat ratio, maybe, yeah. Maybe I never drank spirits really. I tried wine and spirits when I was younger, but I thought, nah. Stick to beer. I was always told as well, even before I got ill, stick to beer and lager because it's mainly water. You'll be fine. There's many differences because I found out my sort of detriment, didn't it? It wasn't good. I've seen Slayer sober. Now he's 30 days sober, but we will keep it up the same. That's good, then, isn't it? Yeah. It's nice to see when people can progress. A lot of people on this channel have progressed. It's amazing. It's all the same alcohol as alcohol. Yeah, 100%, John. Yeah, it's all the same gear. It doesn't matter what form it is, really. It's just different form. Same. It's all poison. And why we do it? So no positive effects on anything, on your mental health, on your physical health, on your social life, on your financial life. Nothing is good about alcohol, apart from that little bit we used to have when we were young. And that's why I put lots of videos out, little short videos about. I got a lot of bad comments, and I don't care about that, but it's for young people drinking. It's when you discover yourself in it, and your body can deal with it. But it's certainly not for older folk like us. That's when everyone's over 18, we're over 25. That's when it starts to cause problems. And the problems will magnify and gather pace as you get a bit older. 100%. It's not for the faint-hearted. Especially when you were a functional alcoholic, did you have to take others to keep going during the day? No, I just ploughed on. I'm quite strong. I think when you get to the point where if you're caught out, sort of thing, or if something happens, you're going to lose everything. You've got to dig deep up and just get the job done. I saw a good interview with Patrick Christie's from GB News, about this. He was early 30s when he had a massive issue with alcohol, and the presenters worked with didn't know really. But he said, just got to keep ploughing on. You've got to be tough. If you can beat alcoholism, you're a tough cookie. It's not an easy thing to fix, and you can never be cured of it, but it is manageable, and that's the good thing about it. It's manageable, and you can get to a point where you get a better life. You get to a point where you think, well, life's not too bad, really. Because when you drink, like somebody said earlier, it's depressing, isn't it? They come down from alcohol. It's terrible, and that's when you go to withdrawals and you get these hangovers, and you see the kindling effect kicks in, and then there's all sorts of illnesses associated with it. And plus the fact you might have some other ailment And the booze has got you so weak you can't even get the doctors. You neglect your other health, your mental health. You don't wash, you don't get your teeth seen. All this carry on because all you do is you fixate. You're obsessed with the booze. That's the problem. And so, if you want to support the channel, please do hit the super chat button or the buy me coffee links on the right there. It keeps the channel moving, and I think we're still the only one that's doing the lives. I think somebody might try and copy it, but let's see what happens in the future. Rusty, yes, I understand, but if you're almost sleeping at your job because you need the booze, you need something to wake you up. Mental toughness it is, really, I think, to be honest. I hated those withdrawals. I never want to go back that stage. No, I couldn't face them. I couldn't go back to my old life for an hour. I hated life, I hated myself. And I was so down. I don't think I've had anything like clinical depression, but I was just so down with all. Why have I wasted my... The biggest regret I had was why I went back in after 8 years. Why I went back. And also, I still can't fathom out why after 8 years sober, I was so quickly drawn into feeling so ill. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Samantha, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're okay. I just talking tonight about the stages of alcoholism. Well, thanks, John. Always appreciate it, Steve. Thanks very much, John. Appreciate that, and good to see you here. And like I said, the 5 stages of alcoholism, it's very quick to catch up on you, really, isn't it? From the social drinking to the moderate, the heavy, where it's causing problems, and then obviously this level where you get to, you just can't cope anymore. It's horrendous. Michael, yes, man. My experience also, and I would never speak against AA or any 12-step group that's helped me in the AA. Were really important. Were really important for me early months and longer. It's massive social support. I bet it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Connection. Isn't it? Thanks again, John, for that super chat. Appreciate that so much. So, Marna, hell of saturation drinking, having to keep enough alcohol in your system not to withdraw. Yeah, it's a good point. It's hard work, isn't it, to try and keep up with it? And also having stock in the house. But not to be drunk during the working day. It was hell on earth and exhausting, the same routine day after day. Yeah. You've got to balance everything, haven't you? You've got to plan everything ahead like a military operation, even if you're doing something social. Think, oh, I can't really drive on that day. If I have to drive, maybe I'll have a little bit less on the day before. It's horrendous, isn't it? And the amount of time it takes to sort all this out and plan things. See, now I'm very reliable. Your partner knows that. So if I need to go and do something, pick something up, or be up early, I can do it. I know it's a struggle getting out of bed, but you can do it when you're sober. How I did it when I was drinking, when I get up at 4 a.m., I've got no idea. But I was younger, maybe that's the reason, or I had a reason to do it. But we don't want to lose everything, do you? That's the thing. It's horrendous, Rusty. It really is. David, did you hear what Anthony Hopkins said about alcohol misuse? I've heard a little bit of what he said. Is there anything in particular you want to share, David? He was sober for 50 years now, isn't he? Nice. Howdy, how are you doing? Is it wet there? John, yeah. Thanks again, John, for that sort of chat. If anybody else wants to drop a sort of chat in, please do. Or coffee links there. It's good to get some support and keeps the channel moving along. And as I said before, I think we're the only one that does the lives, which is good. Trinket, I saw a friend last week, his belly full of fluid from drinking. Now I heard he's in hospital. Well, that'll be the ascites fluid that builds up when your liver gets damaged. You can't cope at all, really. And you get these serious symptoms. And that can actually get infected. It's called spontaneous bacterial peritonitis, which is very dangerous. Really bad, that is. Really bad. Becca Mason, hiya, Becca. Nice to see you. Anna, I just drank 10 beers. I'm hammered, brother. Wow, that's not good, is it? If you want to stop, I don't know where you are, but text me on this number. And I'll see if I can have a chat with you. And get in the right path. If you're outside the UK, obviously it's +44. Ignore that number, that's the wrong one. The number's actually, and there's a link to the email address and all on the video links and that sort of thing. Let's get rid of this one. remove that one here. So that's correct. That's correct number on the bottom there. We do need some help sometimes, because we can't do it on your own. I was in hospital. That's the only reason I got off, really, to be fair. And when I was told, you can't drink again, otherwise you'll be dead in 6 months. It's a harsh message, but it did the job. And that's more or less what I'm saying to a lot of you here. If you continue to drink, you'll shave off 20 to 30 years of your life. And the last few years, you're going to have a hell of a life, more difficult. You'll have less mobility. You'll have less cash. You'll have less reason to live. You get depressed. You'll not do anything that's positive. You can't do anything, can you, when you drink? You're just obsessed with booze. Drink try to stop on it. It's hard at first, but it will get better. Thanks, drink. It's also worth the battle, when you've done it to get because you get your freedom back. You're not free if you drink. You're constantly chasing your tail and trying to beat it. But when you beat it, don't go back to it. That's the message, isn't it? Do not pick up again when you've had a spell of dryness, as it were. Because that first drink will take you straight back. Nobody's managed to beat it. An alcoholic will never, ever be able to socially drink. So one night I met Anthony Hopkins at an AA meeting in Havant. That's down in Portsmouth. I had an apartment there in old Portsmouth some years ago. Gunwharf Gate, it was called. There's a pub in, I don't know if you know Old Portsmouth, called the Monk's Bar, run by a couple of gay fellas. It's the cleanest, best run pub I've ever been in my life. The Monk's Bar. There was a fantastic Indian there as well. He was filming in Portsmouth, and he often turned up to the nearest AA meetings when he was filming. Okay, I must have done him some good then, yeah. Thanks for that. But yeah, I was told that as well. You've got to stop. It's a full-time job being a drinker. It's a full-time job with overtime, to be honest. Because you're constantly chasing your tail. You have to plan things. You have to work around having enough stock where you're living. I had stock hidden in the car. I had some stock hidden in an underground in Epping Forest. Can you imagine? I was in the Met at the time. If the Essex police had come along, because they hated the Met, and found me digging a hole in the forest. What the hell? I used to keep beer in there, you see, in just a black bin liner. I knew one boat had a black bin liner full of booze in his fish pond. Crazy times. I always hear you in my head drinking pain thinner is the same as alcohol. That's good. It's got you in the head. It's good. You've got to realise that you're drinking poison. Then you'll be thinking, wow, I'm not going to have that. It doesn't look so appealing, does it? When you think about the paint stripper, is this paint stripper? Similar scientific makeup as well, or chemical makeup. But yes, you have to be very clever, actually. Yeah, you do. You've got to be a manipulator of yourself, really. But people know around you that you're drinking, 100%, especially if they're close to you. Elon, I think alcohol is far more addictive than we are made aware of. Of course it is. We're not told about the addiction. About the dangers, really. We're told about other addictions to maybe cocaine or heroin or ecstasy, but very rarely is alcohol mentioned in the general scheme of things. It sounds crazy, but I feel the drug almost used to talk to more. It used to talk to more. It almost gains control of your spirit. It does. It's definitely controlling substance. During I smoked for 30 years, I suddenly had lung problems. I had multiple collapsed lungs constantly all the time. Doctors told me not to smoke if I wanted to live. I gave it instantly. Yeah, you've got to be told. You've got to be told. I mean, I'm getting a lot of one-to-ones coming through. I just do an hour with them all and do loads of conversations with people and get them off when I tell them my full story, Hello, Thomas, nice to see you. John, now I'm thinking I need a health scan to get help to stop drinking. Well, that's what I had, to be honest. But I think we all know we're drinking too much when we get that stage. I knew when I was 30 that I was drinking too much. I should have stopped then. But then again, I wouldn't have met the love of my life, would I? My life wouldn't have been as good. So it makes us what we are, as long as you can come through it okay. But a lot of people don't, and a lot of people aren't here anymore because they've kept on boozing, haven't they? It'd be worth getting a check, John, yeah. David, he had a moment where he asked himself, do you want to live or die? And he chose life. And in that moment, he quit, and that's lasted for 40 years upwards. Yeah, same me, really. Life or death. And it is life or death. the Monk's Bar in Old Portsmouth, used to be owned by a pair of old fruits. It was, yeah, two guys. I did door work there one time. The owner asked me to walk his dog after work. Really, there's another pub further down. I used to know a guy in there who was a lecturer. He was from Newcastle. On the corner, it was run by a bearded fellow. Obviously, looked like an old sea dog fellow. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, two old fruits. That's the best way. But there was also a bloke in there with a massive moustache who drink whiskey, and then a retired doctor who was sober because he had such a problem with alcohol. I'm going back 30 years here. Drinker, I hit a rock bottom, John, 6 months ago, and never touched alcohol again after that. Everyone's rock bottom is different as well. Don't let it get to my stage. If you quit while you can is the name of it, really. Becca Mason, yes, I think we hit a point. We do hit a point. We've got to stop. Thomas, length of sobriety isn't important. We are all on day one. That's a good point. Yeah, I think Samara mentioned that. We're only one day away, or one drink away from being in a mess. John, it's one thing knowing it's another stopping. Exactly, I totally agree. John, totally agree. Most people I know think it's harder to get off booze than it is crack. No, it is. Alcoholism, hardest drug to get off. Hardest drug to get off without a doubt. It's availability, and it's socially acceptable, and it's hard to get off because the withdrawals are so bad, and it can cause seizures, hard seizures. Next one at Old Portsmouth, the Still and West, the Corn Exchange, great pubs, a bit like Barton and Plymouth. Amazing place, isn't it? The old part of it was great. It's good, very good place. If you'd like to support the channel, then please hit the super chat button or the buy me coffee links on the right there. And, the more support we get, the more we can do. It's nice to see quite a few people on for a Thursday. Actually, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Wednesday midweek. Weekend soon. And do not let the weekend slip in and think, well, it's Thursday night or Friday night. I'm going to have a drink and go back to it. Because we're not social drinkers. None of us are social drinkers. And we never will be. And why should it be, really? What's the point? What's the point in having one or two? John Doe, I got off the white stuff a few years ago, easy on alcohol. I can imagine, yeah. I've never taken any other drug other than alcohol. I never smoked, but I know alcohol nearly killed me. It's horrendous, isn't it? I'm still struggling with forgiving myself for all the wrong decisions made throughout the drinking years, currently working through a course of radical acceptance. It never bothered me that, really. You've got to live for the day. Yesterday's history, isn't it? Yesterday's gone, it's history. You cannot change that. You can maybe do something today, and tomorrow's a mystery if you get there. So you have to be mindful of that. There's no point going back over it. You're just wasting your time, wasting your energy there, really going back to the past. Be positive about everything you can be. Samara Thomas, absolutely sobriety is like a game of snakes and ladders. One wrong move and you're back at the start. Yeah, that's it. It's very finite, isn't it? Better life itself. One wrong move, and then you back at the start. You see that guy the other day climbed up that tower in what was Thailand or somewhere without any ropes. One wrong move and he would have been gone, wouldn't he? Urban agreed there's a fuzzy line between reconciling the past and pointless rumination. Yeah, I totally agree. It is pointless, isn't it? Thomas, don't beat yourself up. The past is where it belongs. Yeah, exactly. Move on. Move on, onwards and upwards. And, for years I wasn't happy, but I'm very happy now. I'm more happy. I'm happier now because of different things. And I've got a good partner, I've got a better lifestyle because I'm not drinking as well. There's like 3 or 4 things in it, but alcohol will take everything from you. It'll give you nothing. It'll take your light away. It'll take your purpose away. It'll take your ambition away. It'll take your money away. It'll take your life. The whole lot will go. Drink of the past is the past. I always say, live today and tomorrow will be an even better day. Yeah. And when you're in this sober, carry on. Every day is better. People say to me, "How's you doing?" I say, "Fantastic." I remember when I was in hospital, waiting to go for a procedure. Put this little tips thing in my liver. This guy came in. He's a male nurse, actually, and one of the doctors, "How are you doing, Dave?" or something. He said, "I'm living the dream." And the doctor just laughed. It was through COVID. You what do you mean you're living the dream? You're working 16 hours a day. He said, "Yeah, but I'm not waiting for an operation." I'll never forget that. And I thought, yeah, he's got his health. He's walking out of this hospital tonight, and I'm not. And the other people in the ward weren't. And some of the people in the liver ward I was in died in front of me. Simple as that. It wasn't a pleasant place. I wish I could get people into liver wards I'm on about people as in kids, teenagers, to show them how bad it is, but they won't let me. So there you go. I did try. John, depends if the past is back to bite you in the arse. Sometimes it does. That's a good point. Yeah, you've got to be aware of it, but don't maybe pour your energy into it. So that would be fantastic. Again, to live award somewhere, take some people in, because if I'd seen when I was young what I saw when I was in the hospital, I wouldn't have drunk at all. Definitely not. You see people going yellow, and then the coughing of blood, as if you've been sick with pints of water, just red, horrendous blood out of the stomach, where they've had an ulcer burst or the stomach lining has just collapsed. Yeah, they've gone yellow. Their eyes are so yellow, they look like a construction worker's jacket or lemon. Horrendous. Thomas, I worked in social care for past 18 years and it's been great for my mental health. It's fantastic getting off the boot. It's amazing. J.R. Hartley, I couldn't stand AA steps, no me. It was so miserable and just a constant reflection on how much of a struggle everything is. I think I can make things worse for people. I agree, J.R. It didn't work for me at all. I think I had relation problems with my mother, brother, and sister. Now they all forgive me for my drinking stupidity. That's good. Then. People will forgive you. You're a different person when you're sober. A better person. So, John, the Colombian marching powder is a lot easier to come off just because it costs so much. Whereas alcohol is affordable. I did have a bit of a habit fuse, but look, it's amazing how many people have been on that, isn't it? On the toot. Hi, Trey. Thanks for popping on. Oh, my magpie was loads better before alcohol. It ruins your life. Alcohol, something as that, isn't it? Ruins your health. Which, with respect, you would maybe have still drunk. Young people don't think it will ever happen to them. Maybe. Yeah, you're probably right there, actually. Maybe youngsters would say, "Oh, this bloke's talking about the bollocks. They're all ill in there. Let's go for a pint." You're probably right there. Actually, when I think back, but might turn a few heads away from it. You never know, do you? Yeah, you don't know what you would have done. It's a good eye opener for people to see it, wouldn't it? But why should I do that on my own? It's a government thing, really, isn't it? At the end of the day, watch voice for resentments. It can be a big trigger for relapse resentments. Yeah, well said, Thomas. Hello, Ben. How you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, so getting people in hospital would be something, a bit of a feather in my cap, really, just to show how ill we can be. The general public, even to put it this way, I didn't know how ill I could be. And I was, dealing with alcoholism all the time when I was in the police. You're arresting people for being drunk and disorderly, drunk and incapable, fighting when the public order offensive when they're drinking, burglaries conducted by people who are drinking, all this sort of thing. All the planning of an armed robbery starts in a boozer. It's all pub related. Life is pub related, isn't it? Life in the UK revolves around pubs. It's as simple as that. John, this morning I was forced to 100% reality. 100% literally, like you just said, for financial reasons. 35k later. Wow, it's expensive gear, isn't it? Benjamin, not good seeing, but I'm here. Good. You must try and keep at this cutting down, Ben. You really have to. Abstaining, my daughter has been rushed to hospital. She'd been home barely a week after over 2 months in critical care. Jeez, can I admit the impulse is there, but I'm too angry at the universe to relapse now. Sorry to hear that, abstain. It's not good news, that, for you. And, we all have problems. Reaching for a drink is easy. It's better to stay sober and you can deal with things with more clarity, if that makes sense, but it's not good. Too much in critical care. Hard score to you there, abstaining for that. It's not a good place there. But keep on here, keep connecting, and keep sober if you can. Joe, do you think sobriety is easier these days? I think society is changing for better in terms of attitude to drink. I've diagnosed that than maybe it was in the 90s. I'm not sure on that one because from what I can gather from the hospitals, there's more people with cirrhosis younger and pancreatitis and all this sort of thing because the drinks are stronger. And I think with AI, job losses, pressures on people, cost of living, I think alcoholism is getting worse. to be honest. I think it's easy to become an alcoholic, especially with the public Weatherspoons around, which is cheap. That's just my personal take on it, Ben, I'm a drinker, Stephen, but don't drink in pubs. It's not the end, not, not the be all and end all. Never go to the pub for a drink. If I'm in the pub, it's usually for a cheap breakfast or meal. Understand, Ben? You still cut down a bit if you can. So UK culture. It's definitely UK culture. John Doe, 35 bags, that is some habit. Whoa. Drink out upstairs. I'm sorry, big support hug. Yeah, it's not nice that drinker. You're right. It's I feel for you. And you do sometimes reach for a drink when you've got issues. You really have. John Doe, hearts to you, saying, thank you as much as I could use one. My other children need their dad and will never. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, you've got to take responsibility sometimes. It's hard, but it's got to be done sometimes. And to go back into booze and going to make things worse, it doesn't feel like that, but it will. I was working the steps, and one day at the meeting I declared that I was done with the steps and only going to show up for fellowship and a coffee. And everyone chuckled and said, okay, fair enough. Bit of connection. Thomas, sobriety doesn't give you immunity to life struggles. Some of my biggest issues have been in sobriety, but sobriety is a gift you give yourself to enjoy it. It's true. It's easier to deal with things, isn't it? So when I rusty banner, people with addictive personalities usually work their way across the board with substance, usually setting on the cheapest and most available. That's just obviously booze, isn't it? Like you said, it's incredibly easy to get. If you want to support the channel, which is good, please do. Please hit the super chat button, as John did earlier, and there's the coffee link on the right there, it's pinned on the top. Yeah, I think you're right. They go for the easy option, and the easy option is a pub, isn't it? Or Deliveroo, or I was speaking to one guy the other day. He said he was watching the maps they put on these Just Eat things. He must have ordered some booze from Uber Eats or something. Then Just Eat and all came together, 3 of them or something. A taxi, Uber Eats and Just Eat all arrived together, and people will have 3 or 4 deliveries a day. So we get the same driver. You having a pie? No, just for me. John, I was doing £200 a day. Wow. A lot of stuff in it. Okay. Maybe I didn't try any drugs with no enough money. I always thought it was an expensive habit. But I never tried it. I didn't even like smoking. I did try cigarette once. And then felt a bit dizzy. I think I tried another couple when I was drinking, but it didn't do anything for me. I think that's what saved my life, to be fair. I'd never been a smoker. And I was also very fit. Because I had lots of complications with the booze medically. And if I'd gone on much longer, I wouldn't be here, you know what I mean? So here we go, and let's keep going and just keep getting healthy, and let's get the channel get bigger, get more people involved, learn from each other. Will this ever be solved? Probably not, Trey. Probably not. It's not going to be our lifetime, is it? Because drink is such a big part of people's lives, especially here. There's a lot of violence because of booze as well in the UK. Yeah, I've never seen a fight in a market square in Italy because of booze. You go anywhere in the UK, there'll always be problems late at night with booze. There's not been problems in Paris. I mean, the policing is stronger there as well, but I've been all over the place in Europe. I've never seen any problem with alcohol. Not like this country. And even the railway stations, people fighting. You go to a railway station in Switzerland, it's manned by armed police. It's so clean. There's nobody hanging about, and call them aggressive beggars, maybe aggressively begging. There might be somebody playing a guitar or something. This country is a mess, isn't it? Any town centre you go into, there's people lying about in sleeping bags, places strewn with litter. You go anywhere in the morning, all the bins are full of pizza boxes. This country's finished. It really is. Thomas, I struggled with suicide 10 years ago. 10 years sober. Really, when you're sober. But came through, and I'm now 20 years recovered and working with people who have complex needs. That's good, Thomas. Fantastic success story there, isn't it? Really good. You struggle with suicide, and now you've got over it and you're helping people. That's a good job, that, Thomas. Well done. Samara, John, do I feel your pain? I was doing coke and speed. It works a lot cheaper and less come down. And please never touch any of this because I wouldn't be here. Couldn't have anything more mind-blowing than that. Just booze alone would do me. Well played, Thomas. Yeah, you've done well. To get over that. You probably wouldn't have got over that if you started drinking again. That's why we need to keep sober. Because we'll all have problems. I've mentioned it 1,000 times. We all have issues in life. But if you're sober, you've got a very good chance of cracking a lot of the stuff and dealing with it properly. And becoming more reliable, become a better person for yourself and your loved ones. Urban Trey Soren, thank God, said life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. It's true, it's reality, isn't it? Yeah. Not everything's a problem. Joe, 2 years sober, and I am the finest human I've ever been in my life. Yeah, I like that. Always invited to things, short of crying for multiple friends because of my attitude in life to life, and now being judgmental. And never being judgmental. Yeah, I think I'm better than that zone as well, to be honest. Good man, Thomas. Isn't it great to help other people take a pattern about? Yeah, 100%. It's a good message from Joe there. Thomas, my point being, there's another life waiting on you too. Of course, there is definitely. The problem, Rusty. The problem is that reality is terrible at the moment. You're right there. It's not good. Tosh, hello everyone. Hello Steve. Tosh just reporting for tonight's stream. I'm still at work, unfortunately, driving my taxi around High Wycombe. Oh no, well, Thames Valley. Stop for a cig. Give me a beer. I won't give in now. No, don't give in. Think of the money you're going to make. Charge a fortune down there, don't you? We're going to wrap it up in a minute, Tosh. We only do 7:30 to 8:30. But it's nice to see you on here. Hope there's plenty of business down there. Rusty, thank you for not poo-pooing that. So yeah, Tosh, get off the booze. It's just going to make it a mess, and you won't go to get to work tomorrow. You make more money, especially you're self-employed. You've got to be tough. This year's going to be tough. The next year's going to be even tougher. Just watch this space. Been doing a lot of research in this AI, and a lot of job losses coming. And there's going to be a lot of very, very hard up people. And the first thing people do when they get hard up is start to hit the booze, and they start to steal. This is what's happening now with shoplifting. I mean, I'm not surprised to steal because things are ridiculously expensive. You've got to really shop around. I never used to shop around. Now I do it all the time now. Rusty, it's really tough to see the good in the world, but there are truly good people. Of course there are. Yeah, all of you, all of us. Most alcoholics are good people. Overthinkers, nice, caring people. We get into a mess because we're people pleasers. And then we get stressed and then we drink. It's as simple as that. The hard-nosed, meathead type folk who don't give a toss just drift through life. We're all the sort of people who don't want to be late for things, who want to make sure everything's okay, all this, Thomas, close the chat round drink now while you can. Turn the page on the new you, definitely. I say it now. They prefer booze over food to escape reality. Definitely. In this stream, especially, and you're right, alcoholics think too much. Overthinkers, sensitive, people pleasers, very similar traits. Fairly intelligent, if not very intelligent in some cases. And we're very ambitious. And that's why the anxiety kicks in. Fun fact, there's a variation of that existential quote in Frank Herbert's Dune. I think I saw a film with Sting in it. It was a weird, it was something like on sand now, every sand Dune. So my life as hard as it is, then something throws addiction in your face. Life can be pretty shit. Oh, when you get that, anybody who can beat this for more than a day is hard as nails and dangerous folk. I mean, dangerous in a good way. Stick with them. If you meet people who've broken the habit and cycle of addiction of anything, then they're very strong-minded people. I know that for a fact. We think we should be better because we know our potential. We are better, and you get much better if you get sober. Much, much better. Okay, folks, we've done about an hour there. Nice to chat to you all. I'll try and get on tomorrow a little bit. In the meantime, there's plenty of videos out there, lots of comments to look at and all that sort of thing. Thanks for coming in, popping in. Thanks, John, for the super chat. Any support we get is grateful. Anytime you can drop a coffee in or whatever, please do so. It helps the channel to keep going. And you know where I am. There's a link to one-to-one stuff, and my email address is on in the description of the video. It's basically, and take care and have a good evening. Thanks to the two moderators, John and Samara, to always do a good job. Thomas, thank you. Samara, really great connecting chats tonight. Hope to see you all soon. Stay safe. Yeah, it's nice to connect. It's nice to go through a few things, put people back on track if they've come off track. Hopefully, most people just stay on track. We're all, well, everyone's welcome here. Non-judgmental, safe space to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And it's a good bunch of people. But let's try and get it a bit bigger if we can. Thanks, Stephen, and everybody for the support. Keep sober, everyone. Yeah, we'll support each other. See, that's the game, isn't it? Support and thanks, Rusty. I'll send you if you want to say. Thanks for that. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for everyone's chatting support in the long run. Because without you, it wouldn't exist, would it? And there will be people out there who are watching this thinking, "Wow, this is pretty good. This has helped me." It's not as life isn't as bad as we thought. Because if you can come back from what most of us have been through, then you're a good person. And like you said, there are all good people around. Say goodbye and take it easy. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks to mods and chat. Stay safe. Well done. And I will see you soon.